Hello students, I'm your science teacher and today I'm going to start the new chapter, that is chapter 18, pollution of air and water. So students, as you all know that air and water are the two important natural resources. As we know that air is essential for all living organisms because oxygen present in air reacts with carbohydrates that are present in food to liberate energy, right? So this energy is utilized to perform all activities by living organism. Now similarly we cannot imagine life without water. See, if we talk about water, so it is also an essential for the life process, such as digestion of food, transport of various substances, removal of waste from the body, etc., right? And water is also essential for plants. So, students, in this chapter, we are going to learn about air pollution and water pollution. So, firstly, we'll talk about air pollution. The air over large cities is contaminated with harmful gases like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, carbon monoxide, smoke, and dust, etc. See, as we know that air is a mixture of many gases that are present in a fixed ratio, right? So when the ratio is disturbed for any region, the air is said to be polluted. So the substances which cause pollution of air are called air pollutants. So we can say that the contamination of air with harmful gases, smoke and dust, etc., is called as air pollution. Now we'll talk about that what pollutes air. See, there are many sources of pollutants in air. Like if we talk about burning of fuels. See, as we know that burning of fossil fuels in factories and in automobiles release harmful gases like carbon dioxide, right? So if we talk about carbon dioxide, so it is also an major causes of air pollution. Okay. See, if the concentration of carbon dioxide is increasing day by day due to increasing automobile or burning of coal and other fossil fuels, etc., right? So the increased concentration of CO2 traps solar radiation, which in turn increase atmospheric temperature, that called what, global warming. And there are carbon monoxide, oxides of nitrogen and sulfur, and unbound carbon particles. So though since the carbon dioxide is not harmful for our body, excess of it in atmosphere causes global warming. See, if you talk about oxides of sulfur and oxides of nitrogen, see, when fuel burn contains a small amount of sulfur, then on burning this sulfur combines with oxygen, then it produces what, their oxides, that is sulfur dioxide, and causes respiratory problems including permanent lung damage. Now if we talk about oxides of nitrogen, see, nitrogen present in fuels, so on burning it reacts with oxygen to produce their oxides. So these oxides combined with other air pollutants and fog to form smoke. See, the smoke causes breathing difficulties such as asthma, cough, and wheezing in children, right? So if we talk about that, what is smoke? So we can say that it is the when the smoke and fog combine to form a thick layer in the air, so that is called what, smoke. Now we'll talk about chlorofluorocarbons. See, if you talk about chlorofluorocarbons, so these are another kind of pollutants that are used in aerosol sprays and as refrigerants in old model of refrigerators and air conditioners. So this CFC damages the ozone layer of the atmosphere, which absorbs harmful ultraviolet radiation coming from the sun and protect us. Okay. Now we'll talk about particulate matter. So in addition to above gases which we have discussed, so many suspended particles are also present in air. So these particles reduce visibility, right? So inhalation of these particles cause respiratory diseases, and dust, cement, carbon and ash particles are main particulate pollutants that is present in air. Now we'll talk about harmful of air pollution. See, that polluted air is harmful for both the living and non-living, right? So if we talk about the harmful effects of air pollution, then that is effect, first effect on health problems. See, most of the pollutants that is present in air are harmful for living organisms, right? There are many gases like oxides of sulfur, nitrogen, say, and etc. So that can damage our lungs and cause respiratory diseases, right? Now if we talk about global warming, see, As we know that due to excessive burning of fuels, the amount of carbon dioxide released in the atmosphere has increased a lot. So this result in more greenhouse effect, right? So as a consequence, the average temperature of the earth is increasing. So this phenomenon is called what? Global warming. Now if we talk about ozone layer depletion, see, depletion of ozone layer is caused by a type of compound that is called chlorofluorocarbon. So as the name suggests that these contain carbon, fluorine and chlorine. So this compound react with ozone gas and destroy the ozone layer, right? As we know, students, that this ozone layer saves us from the harmful ultraviolet radiations coming from the sun, right? So now we'll talk about the next topic, that is acid rain. See students, if we talk about acid rain, see, as we know that burning of coal, petrol and diesel, this produces carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide and oxides of nitrogen and oxides of sulfur. So all these pollutants remain in air. So oxides of nitrogen and sulfur react with water vapor present in atmosphere to form nitric acid and sulfuric acid. So the acids drop down with rain, making the rain acidic. So this is called what? Acid rain, right? And students, if we talk about this acid rain, it can destroy plant, causing huge loss of farmers. It makes the soil acidic and unfit for farming, and it kills fish and other aquatic organisms in the which is present in water bodies, right? And it also causes damage to buildings and monuments made of marble, granite or limestone, like as you can see here that the Taj Mahal is affected by acid rain, right? So now we'll talk about that how to control air pollution, right? So if we talk about that how we control the air pollution, see, air pollution can be controlled by various methods, right? Like what we can do, we can reduce the use of fossil fuels by switching to alternative energy sources, right? The other sources could be solar energy, hydropower and wind energy. Or we can say that scrubbing down industrial emission with water before releasing them into the air, that helps to reduce air pollution, because this process removes oxides of nitrogen and sulfur and other soluble gases besides suspended solids, okay? And we can replacing wood, coal and kerosene with LPG for domestic use can reduce the pollution, right? And composting of dried leaves and twigs is a better option rather than burning, right? So we should save energy. As responsible and aware citizen, students, we can make a conscious effort to reduce air pollution. Like we should not burn garbage or dry leaves, we should save electricity, we should plant trees, right? And we should use public transport rather than individual transport. So these are the students points which by which we can control the air pollution, right? So that's all for today, students. I hope you all have understood. Now the next topic we are going to discuss in our next video part. Thank you.